Hello, ladies and gentlemen, fantasy football community, and welcome to the Fantasy Cave podcast. This is episode 4, and I'm not alone. Finally, I'm with my other guy on the side, Brandon. Say hello to Brandon.
Hey,
we
how
should
you
have
doing?
just, I should have just renamed this podcast the Brandon podcast.
B squared.
Yeah, B squared. Welcome to the B squared podcast. But we're here. We're going to talk about each matchup that happened last week in our league, and then go into some players we're worried about. Specifically, some players that I know my friend Funk wants to talk about. Specifically, start and change.
Looking at you, Pitt.
Yeah, looking at you, Pitts. Rhymes with File Fits. But we're going to talk about him and a certain poser named Russell Wilson. Which, speaking of Russell
Yeah.
Wilson, did you hear after the game how Richard Sherman went off on and brought back open old wounds and brought him back to the Super Bowl? Did you hear about that?
I heard something about it. Yeah, it sounds like I don't know. It's starting to sound like people might not like playing with Russell Wilson.
From what I hear, he loves the character he's created. I guess after the game, which this is a perfect segue to talk about Russell Wilson. After the game, he was in his conference, the press conference, and he's just same character, Broncos Nation, let's ride. No, you understand, I understand building a brand, and this is great, but all I'm going to say is about this. Russell, maybe stop worrying about your Team 3 brand and start worrying about, playing football, because I know a lot of it isn't his fault. I think Nathaniel Hackett's getting exposed as maybe it wasn't him that made him so good at calling the plays. Maybe it was Aaron Rodgers. But you can't get a guy who has no experience, go to Russell Wilson, and I was watching the game and the Broncos fans were booing Russell Wilson throughout all the game, booing him because, and I understand some of the plays, it's 3rd and 15, okay? You're a head coach. Did you throw it short for a dump off when you know you need at least 15 yards, or would you throw it to one of your 2-star receivers that you have on the outside?
Right.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
and even on that last play, KJ Hamler was open, and KJ Hamler literally threw his helmet to the ground, pointed at Russell Wilson, and screaming at him.
Yeah, and that's not good. He knows the lights are on. He knows the cameras are on. Everyone's watching. I don't know. That to me is not a good sign if you're a Denver fan.
No. And then in the morning, I guess, on Good Morning Football, Kyle Brandt called him a poser and called him and Sierra out. Oh, boy, this gets spicy. But I gotta say, Russell Wilson, get it together, man. Don't start.
Yeah, it hasn't been great. And I mean, you look at the Seattle game, I believe week 1.
Yeah.
And they're just they had every chance to win that game, just kept shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was not. It's not been the opening that Denver was hoping for. That's for sure.
No. And pivoting off of him, the quarterback on the other side Thursday night was not good either. Matt Ryan was terrible, and
Right.
somehow they won.
Right. Oh, that was the worst football game I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. And you gotta. I was telling my my friends and stuff while we're watching the game, and I was like, listen, you know what's funny? 5 years ago, we were talking about these quarterbacks. They were the best in the league, and now 5 years later, they're straight garbage.
Oh, yeah.
What changed?
Yeah, crazy.
5 years ago, Matt Ryan was coming off a Super Bowl loss, a MVP, and Russell Wilson was a 2-time Super Bowl champ.
well, at least Matt Ryan, you can blame age.
Yeah.
Russell's not at that age yet where,
I mean, Russell still had burst. Russell ran for like 30 yards in that game. Had like a 30-yard run at one point. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
He still got
Oh,
it.
yeah. He's an athlete for sure.
Yeah, he still got it. And then, well, and I think the other thing too is them losing Javonte Williams for the whole year. And by the way, if you guys
Oh, yeah.
have him,
That's a huge blow.
if you have him, don't
Um,
expect to draft him next year because this is the same injury J.K. Dobbins had. He's
Yeah.
going to be out for at least a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it depends. But yeah, that I'd be scared of him. And that really sucks to me because honestly, Javonte Williams is one of my favorite backs just to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I just love his balance running. He's just he's just fun. He's fun to watch, and that sucks for Denver and obviously his fantasy owners that he's out.
Yeah, and now you got to deal with Melvin Gordon, who fumbled again that night, and
Yeah.
I mean, luckily he recovered, but dear God, he's like, I was
And
watching
you
the
don't want
game.
Melvin Gordon to be the guy anymore.
No,
Melvin Gordon's great if he's spelling Javonte, but you don't want him to be the guy.
anytime a guy named Mike Boone is getting carries, just don't, just don't,
Yeah, just don't.
just don't. But anyway,
Yeah, agreed.
we are gonna go through the matchups from each week, going from last week and then going into this week coming up. And then we're going to talk about some players that we're worried about. Probably we can go into each matchup talking about them while we're in the matchup. But I'm looking at Oh No, It's Debo, which was Clint, versus Cards Against Humanity, which was Helen. And
Okay.
Clint is on a roll right now. 100% it's Lamar Jackson. It's Lamar Jackson, but that week it was Derrick Henry, who anytime there's snow in the radar anywhere in the USA, Derrick Henry just goes berserk. Mike Evans,
Yeah.
which was the only receiver available, and Debo, who had a day, obviously. And then, of course, TJ Hawkinson decided to not be a loser and
Oh
actually
yeah,
put up good
Hawkinson.
points.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I tell you what, that Detroit offense has really, really surprised me this year.
do you know they're the number one
I think they're
offense?
I did hear that.
They're the last
At least
place
yardage
defense.
wise.
They're-
Oh wow.
They're the worst defense and the best offense. So Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown, even if they suck, you can be confident playing them every single week because
Yeah.
they're just going to put up good points. I mean, I know they play New England this
And-
week, but
Yeah, Jared Goff is definitely is far from my favorite quarterback, but he can get the ball out. He can get it to his playmakers.
and New England
And,
is
yeah,
not
when you
that
got
great
that-
of a defense right now. They actually
They're-
from their ranks they're actually pretty middle of the pack.
Yeah, they're not what they were. They really held them in the game against Green Bay for like 90% of that game last week, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it wasn't
on
enough.
Helen's side, like, we just got to talk about these guys because, dear God, like, Juju just isn't doing it for me. Juju,
No,
Tyler Lockett's
no.
been actually pretty consistent, surprisingly. But when you're starting quarterbacks, Derek Carr, I mean, you're better off just streaming the position. Like, I would have played
Yeah,
well, and this is a team too in Helen who had Kamara, who has been terrible, who has had
yeah,
like just so many players hurt. And Clint also. Clint had no David Montgomery, no Cordell Patterson, which is now on IR,
right.
and no and still no DeAndre Hopkins. So like that could change, but like AJ Dillon, I mean, they were playing New England. Like, New England's number one thing, they take away your number one option, and
Yes,
it was
always.
taking away AJ Dillon, and it was taking away Aaron Jones. So that was definitely a thing. But
AJ Dillon's killing me as a Aaron Jones owner, which I knew he was. After the draft, I was like, you don't want to have Aaron Jones as your. I think he was the first running back I picked. Juju Smith-Schuster for me was not a guy I ever was real high on. To be honest.
Yeah, no. But that's the thing. Pat Mahomes is so good that it doesn't matter who he has, he still puts up good numbers, and we'll talk about.
Yeah,
him later.
he does, and he's going to spread the ball around, which is why I don't really love any of his receivers because he's except Travis Kelce. If you have Kelce as your tight end, then
if they start giving the ball to Sky Moore, yeah, but Sky Moore has done absolutely nothing to this point.
No, he's been an upset for me because I actually had him in one of my redraft leagues. He was one that I was high on actually.
Yeah.
In Kansas City, but yeah, that has not come to fruition at all. It seems like he's slowly getting more involved in the offense.
Yeah, him and Treylon Burks.
See where that goes.
Slowly getting there. Which is great. Which is absolutely great for them. But then setback because now Treylon has a turf toe. Treylon has a turf toe, so now he's going to be out for about 3 to 4 weeks. So just when things started to look
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, just when stuff. Yeah. I just traded him actually in this league too, because I got Kareem Hunt. Yeah, I traded him and Chase Edmonds for Kareem Hunt. So I could have got a little more, but I was just happy getting Kareem Hunt. So I got Kareem Hunt, who is better depth pieced on top of what I got. I'm still not done wheeling and dealing, but which, by the way, have you seen in the Dynasty League that we're in, the wheeling and dealing I've been doing?
I have. Yeah.
I know, right? I've made like 3 or 4 trades, and I'm stacked right now.
I know. I can't even keep up with them.
That's how I play, man. That's 100% how I play. But we're going to pivot into talking about this running back who I'm looking at right now. James Conner.
Okay.
He has looked terrible. I don't know whether or not he's still dealing with injuries, or what, but Conner has not been that running back 2 that you drafted going into the season. Like, Conner, I believe he's been injured twice already this year. And he's not getting a lot of the carries because their defense in Arizona is so bad that they have to throw the ball a lot because they're down, and Kyler Murray is just putting the ball in his hands instead of putting the ball in Conner's hands. But are you worried about Conner? What's your panic level on Conner right
now? I don't know. Maybe like a medium. I don't know if you're going for like a 1 in 10.
Yeah, just medium, low, or high. Like, what's your panic level on him?
Yeah, I'd say about medium. The Cardinals' offense is so tough. They're such a weird team. I just never know what to think of them. Like, they'll come out for a couple weeks and they'll look like world beaters. And then they're just bottom of the barrel for, the rest of the season. I never know what to think about them. I know they're more focused on the air. To me, James Conner, honestly, it just feels like a strange fit in Arizona. I would think they'd.
And they didn't really use him throwing the football last year to a point. They used him.
Right.
His ability, why he was like top 10 last year, was because he scored 16 touchdowns.
Right.
So,
which you're generally going to have a regression with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You're gonna have that
regression to the average.
Yeah, you're gonna have that, and that is a thing that you have to expect for. But in this offense, like, they don't have Hopkins, so maybe when Hopkins come back, that may change, because teams will have to obviously respect him and have to cover him. And you have Hollywood Brown on the other side, so maybe then that will change. But I'm like right in the medium level of panic right now as well, like you are. I'm not too worried about him.
I don't want to start him this week against Philly.
No. Philly's defense is
I'm not. If that's my bet. If he's one of my best options at running back, I'm not. I'm not happy about that.
no. If you have better options, play someone else. I
Yeah.
like. Okay, so I'll ask you this. So Tyler Algier, who's now starting because Cordero Patterson is out, or James Conner. Algier plays Tampa,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
this is a team that Atlanta is a team that will run the ball even if they're down. So what would you go
Right.
for there?
Right.
Because I'm kind of going
Um.
Algier's way.
See, to me, I don't know. I actually. Yeah, I probably would. I don't think Connor's gonna get too much going
No,
against Philly. I really
no.
don't.
But
Um.
we are going to move on to the next matchup that was last week was me and you, pal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, get ready to talk about this one.
Do
Well,
we have
let's
do we have to
let's
do we have to talk about this game?
if you don't want to, we can just briefly run through it real
No, I'm
quick.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But Austin Eckler and Pat Mahomes, let's talk about them. Eckler finally decided. What's funny is we have a group chat, and I literally said because Eckler was doing nothing again, I was like, whoever wants trade me for him, I'm done. I'm done. And then he decides to score a
Right.
touchdown, and then he decides to score another touchdown. And I was like, what I said before, disregard that, disregard it, because Eckler decided to finally show up. It's about time against Houston, which
Yeah.
made sense. I mean, next week plays Cleveland.
Right.
I am absolutely happy with that. And then my receivers didn't do much, but Mahomes made up for it big time with 30 points against Tampa Bay's vaunted defense, which, let me just say, it doesn't matter who Mahomes faces, you're playing him every week.
No.
Like,
No. Yeah.
it is just amazing with Mahomes. Like, we're seeing, like, even Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which people are like, we're like iffy of drafting. You have to play him every week because Clyde has been on fire for the last 3 weeks because he's been catching touchdowns from Mahomes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, anytime if you have anything close to a clear cut number one running back in that Kansas City offense, they're a must play.
yeah.
Um.
Speaking of worried, I'm looking at him right now. Uh, so Waddle, I'm not worried about Waddle. Uh, it wasn't his fault. He was looking real good, by the way, that last game, and Tua got hurt, which
Yeah.
NFL, good on you because I was watching the Thursday game. Good on them for like having a person on standby, a neurological doctor on standby, and they're watching everything. And the moment they say get them off, they get them off because
Right.
they don't want a Tua situation all over again because that Tua will probably not be back for at least 3 to 4 weeks after those 2 concussions because they ain't
Yeah,
gonna play
that's
that
real
game.
unfortunate with Tua, and then it does open up the whole question, which I definitely am not the person to judge what happened, or I don't know, but
I
yeah,
agree.
that's
Like
going to be looked into.
Dolphins,
Um,
this is the worst team this could happen to.
yeah, I mean, look, so to me, when you look at the hit he took the week before, um, and he gets up and kind of stumbles and makes himself all right, and then takes a couple steps and just collapses. That's to me that's a concussion.
That
Like, I don't
100%
know.
is.
I'm not buying the back injury
Uh,
thing.
how do you see a back injury there? That's what I want to know. How do they
Yeah.
see that? Because and I'm not a doctor. I'm not the son of a doctor. I'm the son of a
Right.
mechanic.
Right.
But when you say, "Hey, this guy, we're gonna go check him for a concussion," and they even said that, and then you take him out, and he's back a quarter later, and then not even he's back on the field 4 days later for a Thursday night football game
Yeah.
and can't even make it through the first quarter. Ooh, you're just digging that hole deeper because
Yeah.
this is the same team.
I hate to.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to. I hate to say that to act like I know what happened. I don't know what happened when he went back to the doctors. Like you said, I'm not a doctor, the son of a doctor. I don't know. I'm not qualified to make the decision, but I mean, the guy, there's no indication of a back. Like, he's not holding his back when he goes down.
No.
Not
Even
that
if
you
it
have
was a
to,
neck,
but
like that doesn't look like
it's
a neck.
just it just looks like I can look at that and say he was concussed after that play, and I don't know.
Just things
But
look
the
worse
whole then
and
the fact that
worse.
they put him back out, like you said, it wasn't even he's playing on Thursday night, 4 days later, and then now this, and then you saw his fingers. I mean, that's just scary. I mean, I hate seeing that
I hate that too.
happen to anyone.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They gotta NFL needs to look into that. With the Dolphins already looking shady for all the tampering this offseason, and
I was just about to say that too. The tampering, the tanking for money, the Brian Flores garbage, the Tua stuff, like
yeah,
Dan Snyder over in
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Washington's.
Brian Flores too. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
something to be looked at, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Dan Snyder over in Washington's looking pretty good right now. He's like, oh,
That
all I
guy's
did
never
was just not pay taxes. I mean, I'm looking pretty good. So,
I don't know. Snyder's a mess. He's a whole.
oh, that's a story for a different podcast.
Yeah.
That's a tax
Yeah. Sorry to
podcast.
get off track there.
No.
I
I'm
don't know. I
completely
just
fine.
feel like that's something to be brought up.
No, that's what this podcast is about. So it's like we can talk about stuff. So,
Right. Okay.
in this matchup, like Jalen Hurts was in a very rainy game against Jacksonville, so like I understand why Jalen Hurts had a not so normal 20-point average game for
Right.
you. And then we got to talk about two players I'm worried about, which by the way, J.K. Dobbins, I hate that man with a passion. Of course, because the week I'm playing him, he decides to put up 20 points. I was like,
Yeah.
you got to be kidding me. J.K. Dobbins. But Jamal Williams had an excellent day, which he is actually the running back 4 in fantasy right now.
Wow.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
the running back 4 in fantasy.
That's their Detroit. That offense. I tell you, man, they're like the offensive line just moves people off the ball. They got 2 stud running backs. I just can't talk enough about how much I love that offense.
Oh, like they're the number 1 offense and the 32nd ranked D. So
that's great.
You play the teams they play against, the offensive players they play against, and you play the offensive players against them because they are going to be down.
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk about these two players because I'm looking at them on the screen right now for both of us. For me, it's Michael Pittman. For you, it's Kyle Pitts. And I will leave the floor to you to talk about this disappointment.
To be honest, the only thing I can say about Kyle Pitts is that I have nothing to say about Kyle Pitts. Just what happened? It's so strange because to me, I was really excited to be able to draft him because normally for tight ends, you see a big a lot of progression from year 1 to year 2.
Yes.
Tight ends rarely come in and are any kind of a factor their rookie season. And then you see usually the jump in year 2. And Kyle Pitts, though, last year, really, I think toward the end of the year more, I could be wrong about that, but he was really starting to, he was really a presence. And we kind of knew that. I mean, with his size, his physical skill set, the speed, he's just a freak, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get, I don't know. I was really big on him. And you think, you know, and Drake London is kind of doing what he was doing now at the receiver position, but he's
Mm-hmm.
kind of doing what Pitts was doing last year a little bit. And you got to think having, you know, two guys would only help. You know, usually when you have a receiver who does well, you bring in another receiver that only helps the second guy. But with
Which,
Pitts, I don't know. He has no he has no chemistry with the quarterback.
well,
Seems
and
so.
it is Marcus Mariota, and
It is.
it is Marcus
Yeah, but
Mariota, and like
yeah.
at some point they're gonna throw in Desmond Ritter, so maybe you have a chance with that. But it's like you can't sit Pitts because then when you bench
No,
him,
that's the frustrating part. You're right. I can't sit him.
he gives you he goes off and finally gets a touchdown.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts
Oh
is
yeah,
your
and that's what I'm
number.
still waiting for. But then it's like, man, it's 4 weeks in, and it's like, but you know, it's tight end, and it's not. There's not just tight ends sitting around waiting to
Tight
be
ends
picked up.
suck. Tight ends suck. Trust me, I know. I've
Yeah.
pivoted tight ends like 4 or 5 times in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Which is why I was happy to draft him. I forget what round, but
It
relatively
was
high.
the fourth round, I believe, fourth or fifth.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I will say this with Kyle Pitts, like with Cordero Patterson out, maybe he'll see more because they'll have to throw. But this team is so. This team, I don't want to say dumb because they're not dumb, but their play calling is so weird that even when they're down, like I said earlier, they run the football when they're down. Maybe with no
Right.
Cordero now, they'll decide, hey, maybe we should throw the football. But I think Arthur Smith's just like, no, 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 no. I've seen what he did for me back in Tennessee. I don't want to see it again. Please,
Yeah.
God, Mariota, do anything but throw. like,
Right.
that's what I just see going on in his head. But they're playing Tampa this week. They're gonna be down. Tampa is going to curb stomp them after what happened last week at Kansas City. They are going
Yeah,
to
and
let.
it almost feels like the Falcons are trying to tank because, I mean, there's a
So are
lot
the
of
Bears.
good quarterbacks coming up in this draft.
There's
So
3 or 4 good
I
ones.
don't know, not to say that they're trying to tank, but you know what?
Well,
They
and
are.
I mean, Kyle Pitts is very similar to Michael Pittman
Okay.
because like Michael
They're
Pittman
2-2,
for me,
and they almost beat.
yeah, Michael Pittman for me was.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're okay. Michael Pittman for me was okay, but he's losing stuff to Alec Pierce. Matt Ryan's terrible, and
Yeah.
I got to the point I benched him for Chris Godwin this week. So, and Chris Godwin,
Yeah.
help me, please. Please help me. But we are going to move on
Yeah.
to
I like
the.
I like
go ahead.
Godwin though.
Oh, yeah. Godwin this week is
No, I
going
was
to be
just saying I like
fantastic.
Godwin. I don't know what's going on in Tampa this year.
Brady's going
But
through
normally
a divorce.
I'm a fan of Godwin.
Yeah, Brady's going through a divorce, supposedly.
Well, yeah, that is what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing that I'd like to talk about.
Yeah.
Real quick. One player, Rashad Penny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I drafted him. I was real proud of myself for this too. I remember in the draft, I got him, and I got Kenneth Walker in the draft. I'm thinking, look, Russell's gone. They were a running team to begin with. They always have usually two relevant fantasy backs. Rashad Penny led the league by a wide margin last year, yards per carry.
He won people leagues.
Like I said, I know they draft Penny. So I'm thinking between the two of these two, I'm gonna have, because I waited. We just said I got a tight end in the 4th round. My first pick was a receiver. 3rd pick was a receiver. I think second round I got a running back. I waited till like the 5th round to get a running back, and that was J.K. Dobbins. And I know he's probably, well, at the time I thought he might be ready for week 1, but he wasn't. But so then I'm thinking, Rashad Penny, this is an RB2 here. he's been awful. And then so I bench him this week, 28.7 points. First week I benched him. It's like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
That's fantasy, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, that always happens for me on my bench. Like, I bench Brandon Cooks, and he has a good day. I benched Jalen Waddle. I'll never forget. I benched Jalen Waddle, and he had 40 points, and I somehow still won. And I did not deserve to win, and I won. So,
what was that? Was that the second? Was that the Ravens week 2, maybe?
That was the Ravens week. That was the week that Tua threw 4 touchdowns.
Okay.
Or 6 touchdowns. I apologize. But
okay, yeah, sorry about that. I kind of forgot about that. I was looking down at my bench. I was like, I got to bring up Penny.
No, we need to talk about that, because that was quite. That probably caused you a win. Probably. That is fantasy 100%. So, moving on to, I'm gonna finish last. It's funny how things work that way, because right now he is last. So,
it's looking, it's looking correct.
Yeah, and Hellraisers, who won this matchup, which Saquon's back, by the way. Saquon is 100% back, 110%.
Yeah, I'm kicking myself in hindsight for sleeping on him a little bit, because I really thought before the season, this guy, I knew he had a chance to come back, because it's not like he was like, he's been healthy for a while. It's not like he's just like getting healthy. Like, he's been good for a couple months, and I don't know. Saquon at the top of his game is just, talking about people I like to watch. He's my favorite player, honestly, to watch. Just from an entertainment perspective.
I loved him even from college. He was my favorite Penn State player of all time. If you guys don't know college, I'm a Penn State football fan.
Sorry, what was that? It's cutting down.
No, I'm a Penn State football fan. And he's one of my favorite.
Penn State, yeah, okay.
Penn State football fans, or football players of all time. And to see, I hate seeing him injured, because, like, I love Saquon. And
oh yeah, he's the best.
And to see him, like, a lot of people did not draft him because he's on the Giants for one. He gets injured all the time. Daniel Jones is his quarterback. He will take yardage away from Saquon. It still didn't matter. It still doesn't matter. Saquon is the focal point of their offense, because he's the only good pass catcher in their offense, because all the receivers are hurt, or Kenny Golladay is there. So that's the 2 factors there. But a quarterback I want to talk about, who I am very worried about, is Matthew Stafford. I don't know if you watched the game on Monday night, but his offensive line looked terrible.
I did not watch the game. No. That, just looking at that stat line, that's pretty disappointing. And following it up with a 10-point game that's following up a 10-point game last week, and a 12-point game week 1. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. And it just gets worse, because guess who they play this week? The Cowboys.
Who's that?
The guess who they play? The Cowboys this week. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Micah. That front 4, Micah Parsons and Demarcus Lawrence are going to feast on that line. And Stafford, the only player you can start on the Rams side is Cooper Kupp at this point. And Tyler Higbee.
I apologize. You're cutting out for me real bad. I'm actually not hearing a lot of what you're saying.
It could be my mic.
See, there it went a little bit.
There we go. It's probably because I'm encoding overloaded. Again.
Yeah, see, I didn't really hear what you just said.
No, I was saying about how they play the Cowboys next week, and the Cowboys are going to straight dominate them on the line. Don't know why we're getting encoding errors.
I'm losing you.
Yeah, it's Discord. Let me pause this.
It was
Let's try it now. There we go. Okay, we're good now. Yeah, so I think what it was is my NFL was loading and it couldn't take the NFL tab that I had open, loading, plus on top of this loading, plus on top of the other stuff playing. Uh, this is,
Okay.
yeah, this is a first for us guys, so this will take a little bit getting used to. So
Yeah.
there's the encoding error again.
Think we got it now. But yeah, playing the Cowboys, Micah Parsons, they're gonna get to know each other pretty well this week, I'd say.
Yeah, they're gonna be best buds that week.
Yeah.
We're gonna move real quickly here because I do want to try and get to the games, for like breakdown start sets for the games. Basically, this next matchup I want to go over is Designated Drinkers and Nate's team, which he called Nasty Nate's Greats. Which I love that name, by the way, Nate.
Nate's great.
Nate the Great, Nasty Nate's Greats. I do love that.
Captain Kirk. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Captain Kirk doing it again. Okay.
Again, another team I don't know what to think of a whole lot, the Vikings.
Yeah.
It's like one week they look fantastic, beat the Packers. Next week, prime time against the Eagles, they just are flat completely.
But that's the thing. That's what they do in prime time. Like, prime time.
Yeah, that's true. And
games, Kirk Cousins struggles.
I was gonna say, what's Kirk's record? I know it's bad. It's like 3-11. That's completely pulled out of.
It is
nowhere.
very, very bad.
Yeah.
It is very, very bad. Let me actually pull it up here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could look it up.
What is his? What is Kirk Cousins' primetime record? Oh. So his Sunday night football record is 55, 47, and 2. That's on Sundays. That's Sundays.
On Sundays. That can't be
Monday
Sunday night.
He's 2-9.
2-9, okay.
So if he plays Monday night, guys, don't play him.
Yeah.
If he plays Monday night, don't play him.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, don't.
Because that's what the Philly game. Yeah, that was Monday night. I think Philly got a little lucky catching him on a Monday.
Yeah, they absolutely did. So let me go ahead and pull this up real quick, as my thing is not. There we go. So this matchup between both Nasty Nate's team, which was undefeated at that point, and Canoni, which
he has a good team.
His team scares me. Scares the crap out of me because he's got Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. So that worries me a good bit.
That combination right there is going to win you a lot of games.
Yeah. And
then if you get Josh Jacobs busting out 34 points.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs decided, I'm going to actually do good for fantasy this week. And actually, well, he had the ball 28 carries for 144 yards and 2 scores.
Crazy.
And he caught 5 passes. I mean,
and Dalvin Cook didn't do it this week. We all know what he can do.
Yeah. Well, he did get hurt in that game as well. He was hurt.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
He got hurt. That was before the device that he had to put on. And so Nick Chubb
and Christian Kirk for Canoni too. Again, didn't do it this week, but he's been a real nice surprise this year.
Yeah, Christian Kirk has been the number 1 for Jacksonville, and they showed him. They showed the reason why they spent That's $78 million to grab him and
Yeah,
spent up and
yeah.
grabbed him.
Looking good. I mean, and then the 8.3. That was that game in Philly with the weather that nobody was passing the ball.
Yeah.
The wind was so strong it blew a extra point off course. Jake Elliott kicked an extra point straight down the middle.
And it came back.
Wind blew it out.
Wow.
Yeah, it like blew off to the right.
So I'm looking at
That's how
this.
strong the wind was.
I'm looking at this game right now, and do you see who Nate had on his bench? Justin Herbert
Oh,
and
Pierce.
Damian
Oh no.
Harris. Yeah, or Damian Pierce. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause and
Which he was a disappointment. Well, he got 18 points the week before. Okay.
yeah, he has been progressively getting more and more carries, and
Yeah.
now it's like you're playing him because he's playing Jacksonville next week. He gets the bye, and then he plays Vegas. Yeah, you're playing. You need to play him every week, and then
Yeah.
like
Well, he
I
might not have to play him every week because he has Chubb and CEH.
yeah, he does. Well, he can
So
throw him in the flex, so over
he can.
Scary Terry. Yeah.
Yeah. But that becomes a discussion then, I would think. That's a good problem to have. But yeah, I mean, I think you got to go with Pierce. Anytime you have a running back that you feel good about, they're going to be more consistent
Mm-hmm. And you could be in my
than a
situation
wide
where.
receiver who's getting the ball from Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you could be in my situation where I am stacked at wide receiver. I don't know who to start some weeks, and or my running backs who now that Brian Robinson is back,
Yeah.
if he performs well, we're gonna have a problem at my flex position. We're gonna have a
We'll have to look at
problem.
that. Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, we did go over our game. Sorry.
yeah, we did. But the last game I do want to talk about is Will exclamation point. I don't know why he called himself that, but he did.
He's doing his best Prince
Yeah.
impression there. Just going with the symbol.
That's good. We're just
He
gonna.
should,
We're
he should
just
get
gonna.
a picture of Prince for his logo.
Oh my God, yeah. His team name. He's Prince now. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not like Will's
Will's
team.
team, he's 2-2. What's that?
Yeah, he is 2-2. He is 100% 2-2. But no, I was saying that he. I am now only when we talk about his team. I'm only gonna call him by exclamation. I'm only gonna call him by the artist formerly known as.
Yeah. The football team formerly known as Will. The fantasy player formerly known as Will.
I'm gonna tell him that next time I see him.
His team, I think, really has some potential.
Yeah, that's what scares the crap
if
out of me.
CMC can keep it up, get back to his form. Kyler Murray said, you know how I feel about Arizona's offense. He's so mercurial. He'll get so many points and then just drop off. So
I mean, Kyler is still top 5 quarterback in fantasy, and
yes, yeah,
they're gonna be down. So Kyler is like definitely worthy of starting every single week. But the guy
absolutely, yeah,
who like AJ Brown is fantastic. Like this whole team, I don't have much faith that I'm gonna win this week because Kelsey is still great. Hollywood Brown with the stack with Kyler Murray, don't like that. And then I got to deal with Christian McCaffrey, which granted he plays a very tough matchup this week in San Francisco, which San Fran is really good defensively.
Yeah.
And
I think he can do better than Deontay Johnson at the receiver too. He's got Mike Williams.
Yeah, I think he did sit Deontay against me this week. He is playing Mike Williams, so I believe he's playing Mike Williams against me. So, and with the rookie quarterback as well, like don't you're playing Buffalo. Just all I gotta say is with the Steelers players, and we'll talk about them later when we get into the matchup. Just just don't play them over the next 4 weeks. Just don't.
I don't want any part of that offense
Because
outside of Harris.
yeah, because over the next 4 weeks they play Buffalo, Tampa, Miami, and then
Philly, I think.
Yeah, and that's all before their bye. And then off the bye,
Yeah,
they play New Orleans.
yeah, that's tough. Yeah, yeah, their offensive line is such a mess. It's just going to be hard for them to get anything going this season. I was really surprised they didn't address that more in the offseason.
Yeah, they really should have. And
It was a mess last year.
instead, they went and got Kenny Pickett, which I understand you
Yeah,
need a new, but like, don't play Pickett now.
I mean, I like Kenny Pickett. I do like Kenny Pickett.
I do too,
Um,
but like, you're gonna throw him out against Buffalo game one, and it's not
yeah,
like he
no,
did great against the
yeah,
Jets either. Yeah,
right.
he ran 2 touchdowns in, but he threw 3 picks.
Yeah, that.
And you're gonna throw him
Yeah,
against the Gauntlet?
yeah,
The Gauntlet they have to go through. They'll be
yeah.
lucky to be like
That's just
what?
not. That's not going to be good. But they, you know, if you're the Steelers, you can't keep sitting and watching.
Trubisky.
Trubisky. You can't keep watching him put up 17 points a game.
No.
So if you're going to struggle, might as well struggle with the rookie. I think they weren't taking shots downfield with Trubisky. They're playing kind of like they have a rookie quarterback anyway.
Yeah.
Might as well put the guy in, I guess. I don't know though. If I'm them, looking at that gauntlet they have in front of them, I would stick with Trubisky right now and just take your lumps because
Exactly.
I don't know. That's not something I want to throw a rookie into
No.
right now.
No.
I would think about maybe starting him then after all that. So I don't know. It's a tough situation they're in. I don't have a lot of faith in the Steelers this year to do anything.
Exactly. All I would say is don't be the Bears. Don't throw Justin
Don't be
Fields
the
out
Bears.
there before he's prepared. Because now you have a
Yeah.
situation this year where people are thinking, should we stick with Justin Fields next year and just suck and get Bryce Young? But then if we do that, we look really stupid because we invested all this stuff
Right.
in Justin Fields.
Yeah, they trade up to get him in the draft.
Yeah.
That makes it even tougher to let him go.
I'm just so done with this football team. How are we 2-2? We don't deserve to be 2-2. But anyway,
man, they pulled that Niners game out.
Yeah. Moving on now, we're gonna go into the matchups for this week. Pick these winners and also pick starts and sits, who we like in the game, and go from there. Does that sound great to you, Mr.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Perfect. Okay. So first things first, we already talked about the Thursday night debacle. That was the Colts and Broncos. We're going to move on to good Charlie O chap. We're going down to London. And for the 3-1 Giants, can't believe I'm saying that, and the 3-1 Packers facing off in London. In this game, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say I am so excited to watch this game, which I can't believe I'm saying that. If I would have seen this at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this game. I'm glad it's on in the morning, so hopefully it'll be on. I'll be able to catch it.
Yeah.
Because I really want to see is this Giants team might be for real.
I mean, the defense is
So
the middle of the pack. It's just what Daniel Jones is literally just throwing to Saquon every single play because their receivers are terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I always hear people talk about their receiving core like it's better than you think, and I'm like, no, it's not really. They have a bunch of middle of the road guys.
It's not. And
They
then
have
you
a bunch
have
of guys that you'd love to have as like your number 3.
exactly.
I don't know.
Or
I
washed
just
receivers like Kenny Galladay. That felt good to say.
right,
Anyway,
right.
when you're talking about their
But yes,
best option is a rookie tight end, it's a problem.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
In this game, you starting anybody on the Giants side other than Saquon?
Um, I don't think so.
No,
Uh,
no.
Obviously Saquon, who you're
Now,
starting over just about anyone right now. But
now I will say in deeper leagues or like dynasty leagues, Wandell Robinson, if he's available, go get him. Stash him, do
yeah,
something with him, because like I was in a league, I got done with Kadarius Toney. I couldn't. He's so good, but
well,
they
yeah,
don't use him when he's healthy, and he's their best player on offense other than Saquon, and he's hurt all the time.
yeah, and that always makes it rough.
Yeah, and Wandell, I like Wandell. I think like he is gonna be their best receiver once he gets healthy. So like Wandell isn't worth a start, but he's worth definitely a pickup and stash for sure.
Right.
But on the Green Bay side, we're starting Aaron Rodgers. Um,
Yeah.
we starting both
Rodgers
the
is still. I still think for Rodgers, you're starting him every
yeah
week.
yeah you have to. And the running backs are playing both Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
I am. I'm always starting both of them, unless you have some kind of crazy stacked backfield.
Yeah,
Um, it's just so frustrating because they both do so much with the amount of touches they get. Where if they got true workhorse carries, they're league winners.
they are.
Um,
And
and they're both and it just they're we're starting both of them. I'm definitely starting either one. So
yeah, I mean, I'm in a situation in a league where in my league that I run. It's I'm in a situation where I have Jamal Williams, and I have to stay in the flames with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I have Sutton, Jalen Waddle, and Stephon Diggs.
yeah,
I have to play
that's
Waddle.
a see that that's those are those
Yeah,
good
that.
problems to have.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm at the point where, okay, out of all of them, I think I got to bench Aaron Jones. And I hate to do that, but it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like I got to because I
Well,
can't not start Clyde
Aaron Jones,
Edwards-Helaire.
I mean, out of those, Aaron Jones does have the real bust potential because of the
Yeah.
way they split the carries there.
hmm
Um,
If
so
only
yeah,
they
you
use
like
him
to
in the
start Aaron
passing game.
Jones.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
instead, let's throw the football to Alan Lazard, which he is worthy of a flex play against the Giants. The Giants are right in the
yeah.
middle of the pack defensively. But I love Romeo Dobbs.
Dobbs is, yeah. I'm not sure how. I guess Dobbs is how I've heard it most.
Yeah.
I am
I'm calling
so
him
excited
Romeo
if I
Dobbs,
have him on
baby.
my team, which I saw you picked him up in one of the leagues. Is it this one
I
or both even?
believe both. Yeah, it was the Dynasty League, yeah. And
Okay,
people are
yeah.
trying to
I,
get me to trade Romeo Doubs left and right, and I was like, no, 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 no,
yeah,
no, no.
I thought about making an offer for him. Yeah.
I was like, I'll
Oh
give
yeah, I
you
don't blame it.
Olave for a first round pick. Yes.
Yeah, I'm super stoked on him moving forward. It looks like he's because you want. I picked up Christian Watson in the dynasty league and in the redraft league that I have a separate redraft league
Yeah.
because Aaron Rodgers always has a guy, and I just because of where they drafted Watson, I was banking on that. But it's looking like that guy is going to be
And
Dobbs.
it looks like it's gonna
It
be
seems like
Dobbs.
they have a good chemistry, and yeah, I
And
think that's going to be over the season.
hmm
That's just going to keep getting better, I believe.
and they talked about Romeo. Like he was so good in preseason, and they kind of shied away from him the first couple games, and then they started losing games, and they realized, oh, maybe we should let this guy that Aaron Rodgers really likes throw the football to him,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's been looking pretty good. So Romeo Dobbs, definitely start him. Tight end Bob Tunyon. He did
Mm,
score a touchdown last week, and tight ends suck.
yeah. Tight ends are so hard. He's not. I tell you what, there's about like 5 tight ends that I feel good about, and weirdly, like Kyle Pitts is one of them, even though he's the worst. Um, I just don't like tight ends. They're so hard. You got to get. I feel to me, you got to have a top 5 tight end or so.
Mm-hmm.
One of those guys. Otherwise, that what you just said, he got the touchdown last week. That you're kind of banking on that for relevance.
Yeah, yeah. So, in this game, we're picking the Packers.
Yes, I'm picking the Packers.
Yeah, I'm picking the Packers as
I'm
well.
picking the Packers. I'm really hoping, as a Philly fan, I'm really hoping that the Giants are not going to look great.
They
But
will.
as just an
This
NFL fan in general, I really hope that the Giants come out and look good,
this is the game they
good
get
enough to make
exposed.
this fun to watch.
This is the game they get exposed.
And I think they have a real chance to. You think? Yeah, they
Yeah,
very well may.
this
I
is the
wouldn't
game
be
they get
surprised.
exposed. Daniel Jones cannot compete
It's
with
a
Aaron
real
Jones
test game for
or
them.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
It's a real test game for them. So I think we're going to know a lot more about the Giants after this week,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Mm-hmm.
why it's such a fun game to watch, I think.
Yep. Moving on to the Steelers at 1-3. And the Bills
Yeah.
at 3-1. Who would have thought we'd be here saying the Steelers are 1-3, and the Bills,
Yeah,
which I mean, they shouldn't have
I
lost
had
that
this. I
game to
had the
Miami.
Steelers preseason. I had the Steelers surprising people. That was my. I think the Steelers are going to be better than people think they're going to be because just Big Ben just has not been good. He's a great quarterback. He had a great career, but the last 2 years, I think it's not even talked about enough how bad he was. Or I feel like a lot of people don't realize how bad he was the last 2 years. And I thought, hey, Mitch, he's not the savior, but he can come in, get the ball to some of these playmakers. But it's just been bad. And then now I'm thinking I was wrong about Ben because he was making that offensive line, even though it looked terrible, he is making it look like an offense you could still run, which it just looks like it's not.
Well, and
Um,
you had to respect Ben Roethlisberger when he was there because
yeah,
he was such a
yeah, for
force,
sure.
and he was very tough to bring down,
Yeah,
even when he was
the
old
guy's a
Big
winner.
Ben. Yeah,
He never had a losing season in his career. How
exactly.
about that? That's
And I
crazy.
think this is the year, and this is a bold prediction coming from me. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. This is the year we're gonna see it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, that's
because
yeah. At this point, I'd be really surprised if they don't.
yeah,
And part of
because
it, a lot of it has to do with the schedule they have now.
this gauntlet they have to go through. I'll be surprised if they get one win over the next 4 games.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you got to face
yeah,
Tampa Bay
yeah.
through
They're
power.
probably going to lose 4 games, and they'll be lucky to win one and go 1-3, which would put them at 2-6. That I mean,
Yeah, go into the bye, they may just say, "Pick it, lead us,"
right?
because after that it does get easier for them, but you still play in a division with Cleveland, which is gonna
Yeah,
have Deshaun Watson back at that point.
yep,
Cincinnati, who has looked better recently, and
yep.
Baltimore, who Lamar Jackson is still dynamic. So
Yes,
it's gonna.
and
This is a rebuilding year. They are gonna start rebuilding. They like this is what happened when Brady left New England.
yeah,
This is what's happening here.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I don't think there's any question if I'm the Steelers that whatever that means to them, rebuilding. That's what they're doing now, and
mhm,
they should have been more in that mode. I think in the off season.
yeah, they should have. But
Hindsight's 2020.
yeah,
Hindsight's 20. And I'm sitting here. I just said in the preseason I thought they were going to come out and surprise people. I think they're better than people think. You know what? Um, we could be talking about them being 3-1 right now if they didn't lose Watt too. Defensively,
exactly.
that's a huge blow.
TJ Watt loss is a bigger loss than what most people think. And Minka got hurt
Yeah,
in that game last week against the Jets as well. So
Yeah.
that was another
Nick,
factor.
speaking of that guy, is he the best safety in the NFL? I don't know. I put him up there.
With him, yes, absolutely. The fact that he
The
can
guy's just a
do
playmaker.
it's him and Jamal Adams. Like it's him, Jamal Adams, pretty
Yeah.
much, because you have to factor in for both of them.
Yeah.
Justin
Yeah.
Simmons from
They're
Denver
those
is
guys.
very similar, but
Yeah. I just think with that you got to know where he's at like before the snap
he is a playmaker.
every play.
He is a
Yeah.
playmaker, absolutely. And if you throw it in the wrong place, he can pick that off and return it for a touchdown.
Yeah. And
And
he will.
he
Yeah.
did game one. He did in game one against Joe Burrow.
And he's
So
cool. The thing I like about him is he does whatever. He blocked the week 1 against Cincinnati.
he blocked that kick.
Cincinnati's down 6. They tie it up with a touchdown, go to kick an extra point to win the game. He blocks the extra point, and they go into overtime and win. I mean, he
Yep.
just does. He does whatever.
Yep. That I mean,
Yeah.
it's sad he can't play on offense because this game,
Yeah.
this game, we're not starting anybody on the Steelers side.
Yeah, I don't
George?
think I even if I have other choices, I don't think I want Najee Harris in this game even.
No.
That Bills front is gonna first of all they're gonna know that's all they have,
They're number one against
and they're
the
just
run.
gonna. Yeah, I don't see. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Offensively for Pittsburgh.
We're gonna see Kenny Pickett do some stuff in this game. It's not worthy of starting.
Yeah.
I think the only guy from Pittsburgh that is worthy of starting is Freiermuth, because when Pickett was in, Freiermuth had a touchdown and dropped it, and he did score a second touchdown in that game. So, but that was with Trubisky. But
Yeah,
he almost had one with
speaking
Kenny
of tight end, yeah, tight ends are one. Pat Freiermuth is actually a guy who he's not like in my top tier, but like after that, I really like him as like a lower end tight end one.
The
I
Muth is
loved.
always gonna be Luth. So like
Yeah,
he's always gonna be Luth.
I love Freiermuth. Dude.
I do too.
I wish Penn State could have kept him forever.
Like I love that guy. But then you wouldn't have had Doctor Strange that's on that team now.
What was that?
Then you wouldn't be
Penn
able to
State?
have the tight end they have now, Doctor Strange.
Oh, I know. So their tight ends coach said, and I think that he had Freiermuth and Gesicki.
Exactly.
And he said the tight end room he has right now is the best tight end room he's ever had.
Yeah.
At Penn State. So that's something.
Yeah. But on the Bills side, we don't really need to speak much of it. You're starting everybody. Everybody. Except for Dawson Knox, and you can flex Gabe Davis, but if you have better options, just don't. I need to see more.
Right.
There's not much to said there. We're both picking Bills, obviously, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say, do we even have to?
We don't even need to talk about that.
Yeah.
Moving on, the Chargers at 2-2 and the Browns at 2-2. I think this game is going to be closer than what most people think. Last year, these two teams faced off. It was a 47-42 game.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
okay,
we're gonna have some fireworks in this game.
Yeah, I agree.
I do feel like it is literally Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and Austin Eckler, and those four backs are all going to have good, or three backs are all going to have good days. Herbert is definitely, you start him every week regardless.
Oh yeah,
and really on the Chargers side, like Keenan Allen's out. They did announce Keenan Allen out. So Mike Williams gets a bump.
That's probably bad news for you.
That is very bad news for me. Thanks for reminding me, Funk. I appreciate that. I'm dying inside. I hope that doesn't happen, But Denzel Ward, I need you to play like we're drafted to play well.
Yeah, and he has before. He
I
can.
do like Gerald Everett this week. I do, because every time that Keenan Allen's out, Gerald Everett has produced and has produced well. I will say in the tight end landscape, they're really bad. Him and David Njoku are the two tight ends that have been really, really good. Especially Everett.
I like both of them. I definitely like both of them. And that's another. Those are two other guys that I definitely don't feel bad about if you didn't get top tier tight end.
Yeah, I mean, I started with Dawson Knox, and now I have Gerald Everett, and like, it's either him or Njoku every week. Him, Njoku. So like, I've been going back.
Oh, you have them both.
Yeah. So I just dropped Njoku for Everett. So, like, if Everett's not available, I'm gonna get Njoku. If Njoku's available, I'm getting Gerald Everett. So on the Brown side, we had Amari Cooper have one catch last week. Does he have more than one catch this week?
Yeah.
I would hope, right? We would hope.
Yeah. You hope so. Yeah, I would think. I would think so.
I think he is deserving of a start. The running backs we already talked about. Njoku definitely deserves a start. Anybody else on your radar in this game or no?
Maybe Peoples-Jones.
Yeah, if you're in a deeper league, definitely Donovan. But
I don't know. He's
so shaky.
He's a real maybe.
Yeah, he is a real maybe. But like, until Deshaun Watson comes back, like, you're not starting Jacoby Brissett.
Right.
But I'm gonna go on a limb here. In this game,
I'll say, and I said Peoples-Jones. I'm not happy if I'm starting him.
No.
So I guess that's a no. I guess that's kind of the barometer.
I mean, if you're desperate, if you're in an all Browns league.
Yeah.
If you're in a league that has to play all Browns players, sure.
Right.
But I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm actually gonna say the Browns win this football game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chargers. This will be the first one.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. We're gonna keep track of that. So
it will not surprise me a whole lot if the Browns win.
No, it would not. But then again, this is the same team that lost to the Jets. So
yeah.
Moving on.
Tough. Yeah.
To the Texans at 0-3-1 and the Jacksonville Jaguars. In this game,
yeah, Jaguars.
Jags, man, like, that division is terrible. So it's like,
yeah,
who wants this division at this point? And the Jags, they did not say die to the Phillies, or the Phillies, to the Eagles.
No. And again, the weather in that game, it's just it makes it hard to judge everything. That was just a weird game.
Yeah.
They jumped out 14-0.
They did. They did.
And they gave up 29 straight points.
Yeah.
So
was that in?
I don't know, but
that was in.
I think the Jaguars.
Half,
the Jaguars
right?
are no joke this year.
Yeah.
What's that?
That was in the second half, right? That they give up all those points.
Second quarter mainly, actually.
Yeah. That's the thing with the Eagles. The Eagles are really good in the second quarter specifically. They
are.
Half,
I didn't know if anyone had been talking about that, but like every game, they bust out like 20 points in the second quarter.
Yep, and then they don't do anything more after that.
That's basically basically been they're 4-0, and it's been all second quarter.
I want to see a full game from them, and I think we're gonna see that when they play Dallas.
I do too. Yeah, as a Philly fan, it's a little bit nitpicky, but those nitpicky things become real when you're in a
Exactly.
They eventually become real. So
you can't be
I agree.
You can't.
No, you can't.
Because what if you're down going into the second half? And I guarantee.
And how much of it is letting the foot off the gas a little bit, though?
I and I
And that's the question. So we'll see.
I guarantee that's going to happen next week against Dallas because
Oh,
it's
that's
going
going
to
to be a fantastic game.
it's going to be a fantastic
Yeah.
game, and Dak will probably be back, and all the pieces will be
Yeah.
back for them.
Is Dak back for sure?
It looks
Next week?
like next week is probably the week that he should be.
Because I don't know how much. I probably shouldn't say. I don't think what I'll say, because Dak is the best quarterback on that roster.
Yeah.
If he's not, if Cooper Rush were to play, I still think it would end up being a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Cooper Rush is a guy that I will say, like, he's one of the better backups right now in the league. 100%. Because
Oh yeah, they got to feel good about that.
He knows the system. Like, he's been there for several times. So, like, it's not like anything's changed for him. So, I think that's really done well for him. And we'll see if he can keep it going this week against the Rams. But on the Texans-Jaguars game, Texans side, we're not starting the Davis Mills. Trevor Lawrence is actually a guy, if you're streaming quarterbacks, I'd play against the Texans or defense. They do not scare me whatsoever. And in
it's
the
starting
running
to break up again a little bit.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I was saying about I'd start Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Lawrence a lot. Doug Peterson is very good with quarterbacks, and I think we're seeing that.
Yes.
Nice to see that for Trevor.
I will say that, like, on the Texans side, like, the running backs from both sides need played, Dameon Pierce and James Robinson. You can't not play James Robinson after what he's been doing.
I agree, yeah. Yep.
And Dameon Pierce, after what he did last week, he needs to be started every week. The wide receivers, does Brandon Cooks do it again? He did have a touchdown last week. I think he is going to be necessary. He can be started. Christian Kirk obviously needs started every week too. Uh-oh.
Sorry, it's breaking up for me pretty bad.
That's okay. Nope, that's okay. How do I sound now? See, it's hard to tell when I'm breaking up. Quick. Okay, we're good. But yeah, I think on the Jag side, that's pretty much it. Jags win this football game?
Yeah, I definitely picked the Jags for that.
Yeah. For sure. Moving on to my 2-2 Chicago Bears and the 3-1 Minnesota Vikings. Chicago. Can I rant for a second? Sticking and coding errors.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can't really hear. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I hate my laptop. Anyway. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, broken, but I heard that.
Okay, so it was probably because I'm charging my laptop periodically. That will be fixed next time, I promise.
Yeah, I'm not hearing any of this.
Oh no? One sec. We will.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. We're having mic difficulties. But can I rant about my Chicago Bears real quick?
What was that?
Can I rant about my Chicago Bears real quick?
Can you rant about the Bears? Please do.
Okay, so let me just say this. Why, in God's name, when Justin Fields is the center of our offense and we're letting him be the center of our offense, have we only thrown the football 28 times all season.
Wait, what?
We have
Come
thrown
again?
we have thrown the football 28 times all year.
28 times a game?
Yes.
Okay, thought you were saying like 28. I was like, there's no way.
Yes.
Yeah, that's too low though. Either way. Um,
I love a running
the
game.
guy's got a real arm talent, man. I love Justin Fields. Justin Fields is one of my favorite quarterbacks. I don't know. I feel like in the right system, I love his talent.
And it was on
I
display
don't know.
with Darnell Mooney last week. Darnell Mooney finally had a big catch.
Yeah.
And instead, hey, here's a thought. Let's not throw the football anymore. Justin
Yeah.
Fields had a career high, or not a career high, a season high 11 completions last week. 11.
Oh wow. Jeez. Yeah, it's crazy. I just feel like it's hard I hate to say this to a Bears fan. I just feel like it's really hard to succeed as a quarterback in that offense.
Yeah. Our Luke Getzey, I understand you came from Green Bay, okay? But maybe Justin Fields isn't stinking Aaron Rodgers. You
Right.
think about that for a second, please. David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert, they're both great running backs. I play both of them. But, for God's sakes, you drafted a tight end in the first round in Cole Kmet. He is our best weapon other than Darnell Mooney, and the only one. Hey, let's throw it to Amon-Ra's unknown brother. Let's throw it to Equinemius St. Brown. Let's do that. Let's throw it to Byron Pringle, who has more stints in jail than he does catches this year. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Our defense is great.
I'm just shaking my head here.
But I can't stand this. Why are we 2-2? I want us to suck. Please.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna suck, just suck, and then get yourself a draft pick.
I know. Please. We have $107 million in the cap for next year. If we don't go bananas and spend it on players, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I may go into depression. I may never come back from, Funk. I don't know. I don't know. In this game, who are we playing on the Bears?
Well, let's just hope.
Go ahead.
Who are we playing?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not playing Bears.
No, me neither. I'm playing Khalil Herbert in a Dynasty League because I freaking have to.
Yeah. You can play Herbert and not feel bad about that, not feel too bad.
Oh,
I'm not playing any part of their passing attack in any games.
Just don't do it. Don't do it. And if you think you have to do it, just remember it's the Chicago Bears, and you have I probably shouldn't do that. It's like a list. No, it's like that pie chart where it says like if step 1 doesn't work, it says step 2 refer to step 1. Always refer to step 1. Always.
It's the Bears. Yeah.
On the Vikings side, you're starting everybody imaginable because they're Chicago Bears. So that's all that needs to be said about that. And we picking the Vikings, obviously.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Vikings.
I'm gonna pick them too because it's not a chance. There's no chance.
Yeah, that's tough to pick the Bears in that one.
Yeah, I hate my team so much. Why? I knew we were gonna be bad, but like,
yeah, I feel for you. It can't be too fun to be watching.
I mean, I knew we were gonna be bad, but like, how are we 2-2? How are we 2
Hey,
and 2 right
I don't
now?
know. And that's what they squeaked out some wins. I mean, it happens. There. I mean, it's always good. They're
I mean, we're better than the
doesn't look pretty,
Lions,
but
but at this
yeah.
point, I don't even
Well,
think
I
we
don't
could
know.
beat
I
the
don't know about that.
Lions.
I I would pick the Lions in that game when they play.
Oh,
I'd probably pick
100%.
the Lions.
100%. I don't
Yeah.
see a single game the Bears could win going forward at all for the rest of the season. But speaking of the Lions, we have the 1-3 Lions versus the 1-3 Patriots. Uh, in this
Yeah.
game, like we said earlier, Lions number 1 offense, number 32nd defense. So in this game,
Where's Mac Jones at?
Mac Jones is practicing in limited, but I don't think he plays.
Okay.
I
Still day
I
to day.
I
Did you see
I
that little day to day thing from Bill Belichick?
I did. I did. He's day to day. Most
That's
people
good.
would get surgery, but not Mac. Not Mac Jones. Mac
No,
Jones wouldn't get surgery because Mac Jones is a man.
not McCorkle.
Not McCorkle. No, McCorkle would never get
No,
surgery. He's a man. Man do man
old
things.
McCorkle Jones.
Good old McCorkle Jones. What was their mother
Best
thinking
name ever.
making that
I have no
name,
idea.
by the way? Lions side.
But anyway,
Lions side. Starting everybody, Amon-Ra, if he plays, you're playing Amon-Ra?
yeah, I'm playing him.
I think Amon-Ra actually, correction, Amon-Ra is declared out for this game.
Oh,
And so is
okay.
DeAndre
He's
Swift.
out.
Yeah.
That
So
changes a
so
lot.
is DJ Chark. So
Really?
Jamal Williams and TJ Hawkinson,
I
and
didn't
that's
know
it.
that. Yeah.
I mean, I think after what
Yeah, because I don't know who
TJ
else you would trust. I don't know it. I don't know who else you would trust there.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in a deeper
And I
league,
don't think
Josh
it's like a
Reynolds.
scheme thing where you can just plug and play, especially with two of them out. I mean, those are good. Amon Ra and DJ Chark are good receivers.
They are, and
I'll be surprised. They have Josh Reynolds. I like Josh Reynolds. I don't like him enough to just go ahead and start him now, though.
In a DFS, like if you wanna hope at a touchdown and like a millie, like he's worthy of it. But
Yeah.
like, if you want a cheap option, but just
Yeah, I don't. I hope. Like any of my, I have 3 teams. I don't think Josh Reynolds isn't touching the field in any of my, any of my leagues.
Same
if
thing
he's
on the
on my team.
Patriots side, except for the 2 running
It's
backs.
a real flyer. Yeah, Ramondre, I'm starting for
Yep.
sure.
Ramondre and Damian Williams are both starts for me too.
Yeah.
Other than that, like if Bailey Zappi is out there to the on the field, you can't start any of the receivers. I mean, I know I do love saying the name Bailey Zappi, but
yeah, I'd like to come up with someone, but I just don't. And it's another offense. New England. It's always been that it's like, I don't really love starting any of the receivers ever, except for when they had Edelman.
There's not exactly a good receiver in that offense anymore. So
no, and you never know. Like 1 week it's all one guy, 1 week it's someone else.
Mm-hmm.
It's never good.
So who we picking in this game? I'll let you choose first.
I wanted to pick the Lions, but I'm picking the Lions. I'm going with the Lions here. I just think they're I think they're better than people think they are. That really makes it tough though.
I think Jay Willie. I think Jay Willie's going to be the factor. I think Jamal Williams is going to be the factor when they win it.
Yeah, he's going to get his for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I'm playing Jay Willie.
It's going to be tough though.
Picking.
They're not going to be able to move the ball in the air.
Yeah, I'm picking the Lions in this game too.
Yeah, my gut says Lions.
I mean, number one offense, but last defense is. It just all depends. Yeah. If Mac Jones plays, Patriots. If he doesn't play and it's Bailey Zappi, then no. So
yeah. It really depends.
Yeah,
on all that.
it
But
really
yeah,
does
I gotta
depend on
go
if it's
with
McCorkle.
Detroit.
So
Yeah,
moving on
yeah. If old
to
McCorkle comes, it suits up.
oh, true, absolutely. Moving on to the
Oh, yeah.
Seahawks at 2-2 versus the 1-3 Saints. Uh, 1-3 Saints. Wow, who would have thought that with Jameis Winston at quarterback? I did.
I know.
I did.
I actually did. I thought this team had real bust potential this year. I mean, you lose Sean Payton, who knows? You know.
I mean, and Drew Brees. I'm sorry, this team has not been the same since Drew Brees has been gone.
Yeah.
So,
No, they haven't. Not at all.
Kamara looks like a shadow of her former self. Uh,
Yeah.
He is playing this week. He is playing a very favorable matchup. I think Kamara can be played. Mike Williams is always injured, but Mike Williams is worthy of a start every week. I love Chris Olave this week. Olave is my start of the week at wide receiver. Like, I
Yeah.
think that this is, like, each week he's been getting better. And Andy Dalton, it looks like he's going to be the starter this week, is love targeting Olave last week. I think that's going to happen again this week. And
Yeah, I love Olave in general. He feels like I love when they picked him because he just feels like a saint to me. I don't know why, just the route running and I don't know. It just seemed to make sense when they picked him. I'm a big fan of Olave. Yeah,
he is.
the speed and everything. I like his game.
On the Seahawks side, do you know Geno Smith is the number 7 quarterback in all of fantasy football?
I was just about to say, how about Geno this year? What a story! I'm pulling for Geno this year, man. That's awesome.
77%.
You don't usually see a journeyman quarterback at his age who's flopped around from team to team, not really had a whole lot of success. You don't usually see those guys show up to, especially the team like the Seahawks, but
Yeah.
I mean they do have weapons though. I think.
Yeah. 77%.
I don't know. I didn't expect it from him. Yeah, crazy, crazy. Yeah, Geno's been so cool.
I like. Wow, who would have thought, Seattle? He's better than Russell Wilson right now. Seattle's
Not
thinking
me.
like,
Yeah.
wow, we lucked out.
Yeah.
we really lucked out.
Yeah, for sure.
So Seattle side, like, Saints are pretty darn good defensively, especially with Marshawn Lattimore. The running backs, Rashad Penny can be played. If you're looking for a quarterback streamer, I love Geno Smith, obviously. But
yeah,
Tyler Lockett is a start, but I don't think DK Metcalf is.
You don't think Metcalf? See, I would go with Metcalf.
But
between the two.
Here's the reason why I think that. Marshawn Lattimore, is going to be on him. Every receiver he has played this year, he has dominated. Mike Evans, nothing. I think Mike Evans he has dominated Mike Evans throughout his career though, so that's a given. The Saints.
Yeah, they just the Bucks just can't in general can't do anything against the Saints for whatever reason. It's weird.
I do like DK Metcalf. Obviously, you're starting him. Just lower your expectations a little bit.
Yeah, I think you have to start him.
So, like,
expect. But Marshawn Lattimore is fantastic corner though.
Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore to me is like it's him and Jalen Ramsey. Like those are the two top corners in all the land.
Might have to start talking about Darius Slay too.
Exactly, Darius Slay is up there too with big play Slay, man.
What he did to Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, after what he did last week, absolutely.
On plays where he covered Justin Jefferson, Darius Slay had more catches than Justin Jefferson when they played the Vikings.
Jeez.
On plays when he covered him.
Holy crap! So this game, we picking Seattle?
Yes, I am picking Seattle.
Yeah, I'm also gonna pick Seattle, so we make that a 2-for. Moving on.
Yeah, we've only disagreed once so far.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, Brandon's
not bad at all.
Stick together. We're gonna rapid fire
That's right.
these.
That's true.
We're going to rapid fire these real quick because we are at an hour and a half recording right now. And I got to somehow chunk this
Yeah, that's
down.
been going a little longer than I expected.
Yeah, that's okay. This is our first episode together.
It's the first
better.
time we've ever done this, so I feel like there's just like so much to say.
Mm-hmm. So, Dolphins, Jets, starting Waddle, starting Tyreek if he plays.
Oh, yeah, you're starting
That's
them
pretty much
every week.
Yeah, I'm definitely starting both of them.
What's
the status on Tyreek Hill? He is questionable going into the game. So watch your waiver or your injury reports. Keep notifications on. Get the app Sleeper, the Sleeper app. You get notifications immediately when anyone important is hurt or they're not playing, they're not practicing, anything like that. You get those notifications, and you turn on those notifications. You get them. I love that app. Jalen Waddle is dealing with he is questionable for the game as well with the groin, but he did practice in full on Thursday and Friday, so he should play.
Yeah, and if he's go, you're playing him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not depending on your team, I might start Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
I do like Mostert.
Yeah, I do too. Jet side, Brees. That's it. And Tyler Conklin actually has been really good for PPR leagues at tight end.
Depending on your receivers, I might start Garrett Wilson there too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And
big fan of Garrett Wilson.
In this game, who we like to win?
That is dependent on your team. That's he's kind of a borderline.
But who do we like in this game, Funk? To win.
Oh, geez. Who is it again? The Jets and who?
Jets and Dolphins.
Lost track. Dolphins. Oh, yeah, Dolphins.
Oh, yeah, Dolphins. I mean, even with Teddy B, they'll be fine.
Dolphins, regardless who's playing quarterback.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Falcons and Buccaneers. In this game, it's pretty much just... I'm not playing anybody from the Falcons except for Kyle Pitts. But, like we talked about it earlier, you got to play Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
And they're going to be down.
Another rookie, Drake London is
London,
on the radar.
Yeah.
I think he's on the radar.
Yeah.
I'm playing him in
this
2 leagues.
Drake
I don't
London,
know if I'm going to start him.
Yeah, I think this week Drake London does get a touchdown. London does get a touchdown this week, I feel, because they're going to need to keep up with the Buccaneers, who we're starting everybody. Tom Brady is my quarterback start of the week this week. He has dominated Atlanta in his career. Chris Godwin is another wide receiver. He needs to be started in every single league he's in because he's off the fantasy. He's off the injury report. He's playing, and he is going to dominate Atlanta. He has his entire career. It's going to happen again. Buccaneers in this game.
Yeah.
I'm picking Buccaneers.
Yeah, agreed.
You're picking Buccaneers in this game?
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah, I would also.
I'm trying to find somewhere to go against the grain, but I can't. I can't go. I can't pick the Falcons there.
So the last of these games, we're gonna just run through rapid fire. Here, Titans, Commanders. We like anybody in this game other than Derrick Henry. And that's pretty much it.
Henry, maybe Burks.
Yeah, Treylon Burks is out. So Robert Woods.
Okay, don't anyone listening, don't start Treylon Burks.
Yeah, do not do that. But I'm picking the Titans in that.
Okay.
Are you also?
I am going to go with the Commanders in this one.
Oh, okay. Niners, Panthers. I'm going Niners, baby. I'm choosing Niners, and Debo needs played. Kittle needs played.
Yeah, you're starting Debo.
And, the only guy from the Panthers is Christian McCaffrey. Don't start DJ Moore or anyone else.
DJ Moore has been such a disappointment this year, man.
It's Baker. It's Baker Mayfield. It absolutely is Baker Mayfield.
I thought he was going to be an upgrade, though.
I did too.
But
I really did. He always starts slow though, so maybe things will change, but it's not
yeah,
this
we'll
week
see.
against the Niners. It's not this week. But we're both
Yeah,
picking the Niners.
yeah.
The
Game wise,
game
that's an easy one. That's the
I know that Funk's gonna want to talk about is the Eagles at 4-0 and the Cardinals at 2-2. Eagles side, we're starting everybody from the Eagles side,
Hurts.
correct?
You're starting Hurts. You're starting AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard. Yeah, running
Mm-hmm.
backs always scare me for them, depending on game script.
Their running back's Jalen
I
Hurts.
like Miles Sanders, but depending on game script, sometimes he just kind of disappears. They
Mm-hmm. It is a
get
good
away from the run
matchup.
a little bit, and then they have. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't love Miles Sanders. But generally, I'll probably start him this week.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not real excited about him.
For me, on the Cardinals side, like, you got to start Kyler. We talked about Connor. If you have better options,
Yep.
don't play Connor. The only guy on the Cardinals I would play is Hollywood because crap. Hello.
Hey,
Sorry, my
yeah, I forget. We were saying, yeah, don't start. Yeah, I don't like Connor. Um, and then Kyler. You got to start Kyler. Yeah, I agree with you. I think on Hollywood, I'd start him.
the
Yeah, can't
one
think of anyone else that I would feel great about starting on that side.
the one guy I
Ertz,
would
maybe,
say is
depending what
Ertz.
you have tight end wise.
I would say
What's that?
Ertz. I would say Ertz.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd probably start him depending,
The
but
reason
I like
why,
Ertz.
the reason why the Eagles are good against everything except for the tight end. Tight end's the one way to
Yeah,
go.
and that's not just this year either. That's always
That's
that's
been
that's year
always,
to year
yeah.
they just struggle to defend tight ends.
And I think this is Zach Ertz's first game against his old team.
Yeah, yeah, it is, and yeah, so
Uh,
there'll be an extra fire for him. So
yeah,
yeah,
Zach
I agree.
Ertz is gonna want come for blood. Uh, we picking the Eagles, right?
I am, but I'm not. I'm not like super.
It's gonna be
I
close.
wouldn't be surprised. I think it's gonna be a good game. This
Yeah,
could be the first real test. If it's not, it will be next week against
yeah.
Dallas.
These next 2 weeks are gonna
But
be
if
huge to see if they're real or not.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
they're
they're
gonna be
gonna be
tested.
tested for sure, and I think it's gonna be close.
And if they can
But
get past
I'm
if they
going
can get
Eagles.
past it, they got an easy schedule going forward after that
Yeah, yeah, they have a pretty light schedule this season.
because they have a bye right after Dallas. So,
Yeah.
but speaking of Dallas, we have the
Who are
three
you
and
going with? You
uh,
also going?
I'm going with the Eagles too. Yeah, I feel like I can't.
Okay. Yeah.
The Cardinals defense is too
Yeah,
bad.
it'd be hard to pick the Cardinals this week, but it wouldn't. I wouldn't be too surprised if they win.
No, I
I
wouldn't.
won't.
No,
So
no.
Sorry, what were you, about Dallas?
Yeah, Dallas. 3-1 Dallas Cowboys versus 2-2 LA Rams. If you have the Dallas Cowboys defense, you better smash play them against the Rams because I'm looking at 5-6 sacks. Easy.
Yeah. Micah Parsons is going to have 5 sacks himself.
And Matthew Stafford, no. The only two guys you should play
The
on the
elbow
Rams.
thing is looking real.
Yeah. Like the only two guys you should start on the Rams side is Cooper Kupp because he's Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And Tyler Higbee.
He's a must start.
Tyler Higbee has been surprisingly good. Everyone's like, oh no. Like, people were talking about tight ends. Tyler Higbee is the number 4 tight end in fantasy.
Yeah. Wow.
Better than Pitts. Better than
I didn't
Waller.
know that. He's always a guy that you generally will want to start. So, yeah. Wouldn't have guessed that high, but yeah.
But that's pretty much it on the Rams side. That's all I want to.
Yeah, well, no part of that backfield.
And
obviously,
and
like you said, Cooper Kupp's matchup proof.
It sucks because I liked Cam Akers. I really did.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get him the ball, but their line is so terrible they can't run. So Matthew Stafford's being forced to throw, and it's just look Cooper Kupp way, or look Tyler Higbee.
Yeah, somehow Cooper Kupp's immune to all this going on.
Allen Robinson,
the offensive line, the elbow.
Yeah, Allen Robinson is straight garbage.
Yeah.
Allen Robinson is straight garbage. So I'm at the point.
So how about the Cowboys? Who are you starting over there?
On the Cowboys side, I'm not starting Zeke. The Rams defense is still the Rams defense, so it's like I don't want to start Zeke or Pollard, but
I don't. Yeah.
Cooper Rush is sneaky, man. Cooper Rush is like a sneaky stream. He could be interesting.
He is. So you know what? I might start Michael Gallup this week.
I think Michael Gallup is back, and he does have like a decent week, and I do see that offense running at full power again.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb needs started every week.
I would feel really good about him if it wasn't against Los Angeles.
CD?
Oh no, I'm still talking about Gallup.
Yeah.
CD, I'm probably just gonna play.
Yeah. I know he's gonna be on Jalen, but Jalen Ramsey is not as good as he used to be.
No.
Next week, I would not start them because they play Philly, and Philly is pretty good against wide receivers. But Dallas is winning this game. If Dallas doesn't win this game, it's going to be because of the Rams defense, not the Rams offense.
Yes, I'm actually going Rams on this one.
Oh. Look at us.
Yep.
We're alternating. I like that.
Yeah, I do think the defense is going to keep a minute. I think this is going to be the week. I just feel like Dallas is going to come down to earth a little bit this year, which is going to be terrible for the Eagles next week.
Yeah.
Because that's going to set up.
But what may happen is the Cowboys may decide, hey, let's throw in Dak because it's a humongous game and we need him. And he's not 100%.
Right. Yeah.
I could see that happening. But
learn from the Dolphins.
Moving on to the Sunday night football game. And I think this is going to be the game of the night, guys. Bengals and Ravens, both at 2-2. Last 2 times these teams faced off, they put up some numbers, man. The Bengals put up 42 points the last 2 times they have faced the Ravens. We start in every.
I've had this game circled on my mental calendar since like July, like whenever the schedule came out.
Yeah, like this game.
Whenever I first saw it, I was just like, I can't wait for this game. And seeing it was going to be prime time, and just like,
we start in everybody, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We're definitely starting Dobbins. You obviously Lamar. You're starting.
Lamar.
I'm starting Rashad Bateman. Mark Andrews.
Absolutely. I have a feeling this
for
game is going to be a
Cincinnati.
shootout. Or we could be both wrong, and it could just be a typical AFC North game. And
yeah, because they're
13-10.
they're physical, they're chippy. You don't know how it's going to go ever.
But
a lot of emotion in this one.
I do think that really this is the easiest game for us to choose starters for start sits, because really it's 95% of the offense, except for Tyler Boyd, because you don't want to chase his points.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like on both of those teams is pretty clear cut every week who the starters are and
exactly
who you don't play.
But in this game, who we choosing?
Yeah.
Who we picking to win?
Oh, sorry. I am picking Baltimore. I have to go Baltimore with this one.
I'm going Cincinnati. I think that they have dominated them the last 2 years they've played them, and with Zach Taylor, man. He knows how to destroy those Ravens, and the Ravens defense.
The Ravens didn't have a secondary at all last year. I mean, they were without Peters, Humphrey. They were down like basically every defensive back they had.
They ain't doing too much better this year.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I know their secondary looks bad actually.
Well, and it
their
could
secondary
just be,
does not look great.